Today, rather than just a lecture,
음,
I'm going to talk about myself, how I started my career, and how the K-pop works from my point of view, so that you can get to know the K-pop better and more friendly, hopefully. And I don't, I think I'm not the one to speak on behalf of K-pop, but I want to talk about what I have gone through and way I see about K-pop system today. Right. She already introduced me uh, very well, but let me go over again, introducing myself. As I mentioned, I go by producer name 72, and I am the founder of the Key Artist Agency. It's a small company. We do music production, publishing. We have independent label, and artist agency. Also, like she mentioned, I am the in-house producer at the YH Entertainment Korea, where Everglow, Tempest, and Chena from Eyes One are signed to. Um, I was born in Korea, grew up in Los Angeles. My dream was to become a singer since I was a little kid. I played violin, piano, guitar, drum. Started as a bassist, anything that makes sound. And I was lead vocalist at a rock band. And yeah, I was a singer, rapper. I even danced, composer, lyricist, anything that are related to music. So the music was indispensable part of my life. So after high school, I majored in sound engineering. I went to school in Hollywood called MI. MI stands for Musicians Institute. I graduated December 2003.
음,
And then I worked as a sound engineer at the recording studio called Silent Sound in Hollywood for about 3 years. Started as an intern and then all the way up to the engineer. And this was the time I'll never forget. It was a tiny little studio on top of a flower shop. And you actually have to go into a flower shop and to walk up the stairs to go into the studio. Even though it was a tiny studio, um, it was great for artists to hide out and record. So I've met so many famous and great artists there, such as Seventh Veil, Cool Keith, Ahmad Rashad Band, Rick James, Ice T, Corrupt Young Gotti, who else? Wawa Watson. Um, Mostly hip hop artists, many great live band artists, instrument players. Uh, but one day I realized I am so happy working with these great artists, but this wasn't the end of my career. So I quit immediately and started to write music. And then my first encounter with K-pop was when I started to pitch songs to Korean labels from the state. Um, the reason I could have worked in K-pop industry was by pitching and placing songs written by me and my friends, my producer and songwriter friends. I've been doing a lot of work with many Korean labels, and I've been writing and writing and writing. And one day, I think it was 2006, I got an offer, A&R offer from Pledis Entertainment. And currently, Pledis Entertainment, they produced numerous popular idol, such as 17, Newest, After School, Promise Nine. But back then, they just started. So I thought I could be a hero. And I flew over to Korea and worked as a manager and A&R for Sondambi. And Sondambi was one and only artist back then, and she was the first artist from the Pledis Entertainment. And just to explain a little bit about Sondambi, she was a singer who became the sexy icon of Korea back in the days. And she had a huge hit, 미쳤어, Crazy, and 토요일 밤에, Saturday Night. And after that time, I went back to the state and focused more on writing and pitching songs. I think around that time, I've been doing lots of photo shoots, music video shoots, mostly film related work whenever Korean labels come over to stay for filming. And 2014, WM Entertainment offered me a producer role, which was one of my dreams to become a producer. So I came back to Korea and worked as a music producer for Oh My Girl. Since then, I have worked as a producer, songwriter, lyricist, publisher with countless K-pop idol, Sistar, Hyorin Twice, Hard, April, and of course, Everglow, Tempest, and Chena, and etc. And here I am. Yeah, I think that's good for my introduction. And if you want to get to know me more, please follow me on Instagram. And let's talk about my role as a producer among the many jobs that make up the K-pop, the entertainment industry. I think we can go on to the next screen, the index page. Yeah, these are the things that I'm going to talk about today. Producer, A&R, casting. I think these are the roles that I can talk about the most. And the production and management are the department that work directly with the artist. So I thought I should talk about that too. And after that, I'm going to talk about briefly about structure and overall process of making an album. Then lastly, I'm going to talk about K-pop shortly, and we'll be done. So producer, next page, please. What does Google say about producer? I wrote it here. Let me read it. A person, company, or country that makes, grows, or supplies goods or commodities for sale. Another meaning, a person responsible for the financial and managerial aspects of making of a movie or broadcast or for staging a play, opera, etc. So basically, a person who makes something can be called a producer. Even a country can be a producer, I think. And there are producers who work in so many different fields as well as entertainment. In the entertainment industry that I'm in, there are producers who produce songs, producers who produce album, and producers who are responsible for the whole thing. And I can say that my current producer job is close to an album producer. It can be seen as the head of all the creative content from the beginning of making album until the album releases. So that's like from top to the bottom. If you look at the producers within the label, you can divide them into 4 main categories. Executive producer, album producer, music producer, and track producer. Executive producer is one who is responsible for the whole thing. It will be probably me at my own label, the Key Artist Agency, because I am the executive of my own company. And the album producer is the one who is in charge of producing the album. That will be me at the YH Entertainment. And music producer is the one who focus more on music and communicate with the artist musically and discuss about songs and whatnot. Um, that will be me while I was producing Oh My Girl. And the track producer is the one who makes the track for the song. Usually, we call songwriters and top liners, and they write melodies, and producers create the track. Track meaning instrumental of the song, and that would be me about 20 years ago. Because nowadays I only participate. Uh, I need a track producer to make the great track. Same thing with top lining. We call all of them producer. So you might get confused easily, but once you know what the producer does, then you can kind of guess what they do. I think role can change anytime because track producers can be a music producer. Music producers usually a track producer or a songwriter. So you can be anywhere. On top of that, there are producers in TV network, film industries, just like Google explained. Um, we're not going to talk about them, but there are so many different producers in the world, and I think I'm one of them. And I think that's about it for producer. And let's move on to A&R. Okay. Again, on Google, it says A&R is responsible for finding promising new artists for a record label or music publisher to sign. And this one, I don't agree with Google because I think it's totally different in K-pop field. And I think even for the whole entertainment, even overseas entertainment too, because A&R has different roles depending on the experience level or depending on the label that they work for. Every A&R has different duties, but to interpret it in my way, if the producer plays a role in leading the creative content, A&R is in charge of making the creative things happen. So they make things happen. So the producer and A&R, they can be seen as a partner, just like a needle and the thread. Yeah. To give you an example, let's say if I, the producer, decide that the concept of Next Everglow music will be hip hop based with EDM sound, and I want Justin Bieber to write the lyric, and I want him to feature. Then the A&R will have to contact writers and producers to write songs, and also contact music publishers to get the demo songs, and they got to call Justin Bieber's agency to cast Justin, which will be really hard job. This is just an example though. Producers usually communicate with songwriters and producers directly because they usually produce and write together. So they have to talk about music directly. But anything that are not related to creativities, writers and track producers usually talk to A&R. For example, like contracts and money related, anything related to business, I guess. So yeah. And for the A&R who just started, the main task is usually to get the demo songs. But as the experience grows, the the work spectrum expands, not only for music, but also for the music videos and all that. And once you're in that level, A&R is literally involved with everything about the artist. So producer, more of creativity, and A&R, more of business side. And I think I do both though. Yeah. And there's no part that's not important to create an idol group. But what's the most starting process of K-pop content? That will be a casting. So next page. The casting, we need an artist to start everything. Nowadays, there are virtual artists too, but we're not going to talk about virtual artists. We're just going to stay on the regular system. And I think it seems that K-pop has slightly different system compared to other countries in the process of casting potential young kids and educate them and raise them through training. Because, for example, in US, they usually find talented artists and manage them or make an investment instead of casting young kids and train them to become a talented artist. So that's the difference that I think. And the T&D department is in charge of this part. It's a short phrase of training and development. The casting directors travel around the world to do on open public auditions and private auditions, and also street casting. They cast on street to discover hidden talent. And if you get selected as a trainee, that's when your trainee days start. Usually go through a number of curriculums, such as singing, dancing, what else? How to interview, gestures, face expression, and even language tutor, and much more. And they do monthly evaluation every month. So if they don't make it, they gotta go home. If they make it, they stay until their debut. But every month they have chances to be dropped. So that's why all the trainees, they practice so hard every single day and every night. So the T&D department takes care of trainees from the casting until the debut. And if trainees are lucky enough and good enough to debut, then the label will start plan for the group. And this is when the production and management come in. The next page. The production team will be in charge of content production, and the management will be in charge of managing and promoting the group. So the production team is responsible for all the tasks related to album production and the contents that are related to the artist. These days, there are so many works other than just album production because we have so many social media contents. So yeah, we have to make a lot. And album production includes music production, music video production, photo shoots, album cover, and so on. And also there are lots of social media contents needed for YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Yeah. The contents are the reality shows, behind the scenes, music video reactions and like cover songs. What else? Well, much more. And this department is, I think this department is where I belong. The producer and A&R belongs to this department, creating content. And the management is responsible for all the daily lives of artists. You have to manage all the schedule. They go to all the sites together. Yeah, they do everything together, including broadcasting station related events, concerts, and overseas schedule. Any promotions for artists to perform, TV shows, that will be a manager's duty. Yes. Okay, let's move on. Uh, Next one, structure of K-pop. Yeah, let's look at the screen. It says my point of view, because every label and company have their own structure and system. Every label or company might have something different. Some department might be under different division. Some departments might not be there, or they might have some more department. So this is very simple setup that I think. So it really depends. But anyways, starting with executive producer. I already talked about executive producer, guy who does everything, responsible for the whole thing. And there's a CEO or chairman who runs the company. And I went over T&D department, production and management. So there they are. And the public relations, we call it PR department usually. They take care of the press, social media, TV, radio content, anything that are responsible for making any of the official articles or statements. They are the one uh, who takes care of it. And the there's a marketing under public relations. Some of the label have marketing departments separately, because nowadays it is really important because of the viral is so important nowadays. So they do have marketing separately sometimes or under management. But I just put them under PR. They can be anywhere. But what they do is marketing. So I think that goes to any other companies too, trying to find a way to promote the product for us, the artist or music, to unspecified number of people. That's what the marketing does. And fan marketing, I just wrote it there, but that will be too much for today. And all the company has a strategic planning department. I think it's kind of boring department that does all the boring company work. Uh, they don't handle any creative things. They take care of finance. So contracts and all those the real world stuff. So when you face the people in this department, no more La La Land. Even the staffs, because you have to deal with human resources. So that's more of a business part. And yeah, I think this is the label structure that I've experienced. Like I mentioned, again, it can be different company by company. And I think every company has different structure, but with similar form. So I hope you get the idea. And let's move on to overall process of making an album. I just put the part randomly, so hope you get it. As I said it earlier, it all starts with casting, and when the trainees come in, they start training, and once they join the debut group, the production department starts to plan for the group. If I explain it briefly, what we do, we make group's name and the member's name, have a meeting, and make a decision on the concept and plan for each and every detail. Even members' standing positions. We plan for the content that can find each member's strength. And we also try to find the weakness and try our best to supplement them. Of course, we all need to discuss a lot with artists and the producers because they are the talent. And you can see many idol groups have universe. In Korean, we call it 세계관. What it is that they give stories like characters in movies and animations. That's another big creative content in idol bands nowadays. Some of them don't have that, but many of them does, I think. Even BTS has one, definitely. And Everglow has one too. I know because I made one. And as far as the concept of everything, usually the executive or the main producer gives direction in a large frame, or all of the staff make decision through a meeting. And then the production department would start to plan and make the content. And making a music and collecting demo songs, nowadays, not only Korean songwriters and producers, I'm pretty sure if you like K-pop, you already know many foreign writers and producers are participating from US, UK, Sweden, and Norway. And I see many German writers are also participating in K-pop too. And the communication with overseas writers and producers is also done by producers in A&R. When it comes to producing music, usually the producer. And when it comes to collecting demos, A&R does it. And in the process of producing music is very simple. Artists record, then engineer, edit, mix, and master the music with producers and artists. And I think there are more steps, but these are the big steps that we need to know today. And after the song is completed, we set a styling concept, what to do with the members' hair and what to do with the makeup and styling. We also make choreography and set a music video concept and shoot the music video. We make a storyboard and have a meeting with directors and producers. Producer this time is producer in music video production. Yeah, and we'll do lots of image works too, including photo shoots and designing the album cover for the poster and many others for the social medias and whatnot. And one of the content that cannot be left out of K-pop is merchandise. We call it MD. Sometimes we call it goods product. And they are usually photo cards, plushes, something stationary products. Products that can be included with the physical CDs or can be purchased separately. If you bought any of the K-pop album, then you will know. And when the contents related to the albums are ready, we need to prepare and start the promotion. This part will be done by management usually. We need to schedule a TV broadcast, prepare a showcase, prepare events, prepare fan meetings, such as concert, and what else? Prepare online and offline marketing too. And obviously, marketing will be done by marketing department. As I mentioned earlier, since social media is the most important things, nowadays we plan and produce so many contents for social media. Yeah. And I think that's all. So when all of these are done, lastly, we hope for the best. We hope there will be a good result. Then the process of making and releasing album is over. So yeah, that's the whole thing. Now, we can't help but talk about K-pop because we are talking about K-pop, right? So next page. What is K-pop? It's Korean popular music. Um, why does the world suddenly love and care about K-pop? I was surprised too. Korean popular music was there from long time ago. It's kind of funny, and I think there are many and different reasons that the and also many different opinion. But I think one of them, it's because it's I think it's the complete version of all the comprehensive art. I think K-pop is a collection of various art fields, such as it contains music, video, image, choreography, product. The artists do modeling. They even do comedy, variety shows, even acting, and they have storyline behind it. So I think it's result that staffs doing tons of work and artists work there. They try their best to have more talent, and yeah, I think that's the reason. That's just my own opinion, and I think the process of K-pop is not a super science. I think the production. That is why I said my job is to connecting dots. Um, I am nobody who are trying to find somebody and connecting dots. And also, during that interview about K-pop before, I mentioned about on-stage artist and off-stage artist. And off-stage artist basically behind the stage artist. I was literally referring to artists who are on stage, singers and performers, and the artists who are not on stage. That will be the staffs, whoever is not on the stage. I was meant to talk about all the staffs who works behind the stage or behind the camera until the artists perform on stage or on the screen. Of course, the onstage artists have the greatest influence for the current K-pop, but I think without the offstage artist, I won't go that deep. It's gonna be hard. And in the end, it is the onstage artists who are in the spotlight and loved by the audience, fans, and public. But I would appreciate it if you remember that there are offstage artists who are silently doing their jobs behind the stage. And the when I listen to music that touched my emotion when I was young, it reminds me of that time. I feel like I flew back in time and feel like I became young again. Same thing with the movies. When I watch a movie that I was impressed with, again, it reminds me of that time. I think that music or movie, any type of things that touched my emotions, I think they remember my past and my memories. Um, my dream is to remember your memories with the content that I create. I am producer 72. Thank you for listening.